Hey, I'm Stephen and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to say today. What the hell is going on? There has been an article published in the mainstream media, the press, praising Elon Musk. This is such an unusual event that I'm literally dedicating an entire video to sharing this incredible and unusual outlier of an article. Does this journalist not know he's risking his entire career by not laying a cable across the face of one of the world's greatest human beings? Does he not have an incredible, overpowering inferiority complex and project his own insecurities onto the accomplishments of Elon Musk? Did he actually get enough love as a child? And does he not find any joy in tearing others down? It's almost as if this journalist is actually a good human being. It's just so strange and unusual to see an article in the mainstream media that is both reasonable and fair when it comes to Elon Musk. So, ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn, sit back, relax, and enjoy as we run through one of the strangest and most unusual articles you'll ever see written about Earth's MVP, Elon Musk. If you love crypto, stocks, and free stuff, or just want to help out the channel, check out these great offers. BlockFi are launching the world's first Bitcoin rewards credit card. People in the US can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase with no annual fee using the BlockFi Bitcoin rewards credit card. Check out the link in the description. And for a limited time, you can get up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, where you can use cryptocurrency to earn interest, borrow cash, and buy or sell crypto. If you want your free crypto, use the link in the description. And if you'd like up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $300 just for opening an account. And if you make an initial deposit of $5 or more, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $2,000. Seriously. Free stocks? Yes, please. And finally, if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake, also linked in the description. The Smartest Person in Any Room, Anywhere, in Defense of Elon Musk, by Douglas Coupland. He's a Silicon Valley ubermensch, the maverick boss of Tesla and SpaceX, who wants us to colonize Mars and who can wipe out billions of dollars with a single tweet. So, what's not to love? It's interesting whenever Elon Musk's name comes up and people begin discussing his accomplishments, such as the reinvention of money, automobiles, and space travel. There's always someone who says, yeah, but he can be a real dick. Take that, Elon. So then, let's be totally honest here, because in your heart, you know, and I know, dear reader, that you can be a real dick too. Just jumping in here, guilty as charged. In fact, I think this is one of my strengths. So can I, and if we're being truly honest, so can, say, the Queen. She probably has to be a dick 10 times a week. So since when does being a dick somehow invalidate you as a person? It doesn't. That's just stupid. And what's in it for you to diss someone you don't know anyway? Being negative is a stupid person's way of trying to appear smart. I love this guy already. I gotta restart that. Being negative is a stupid person's way of trying to appear smart without actually being smart. What a line. And let's also be certain about something else. We all hate goody two-shoes, so come on. What kind of perfect behavior is it you expect from a person, any person, let alone Elon Musk? Very strong start to this article, Douglas. But he seems like he's only out for publicity. Elon Musk is actually terrible at publicity. His Cybertruck launch was a disaster, and the Tesla in space thing was cringy. Jumping in here, I'm not so sure about the Tesla in space thing being cringy. That got so much ridiculous coverage. One of the best-selling pieces of merch in the merch store. Don't bet against Elon. Merch design, shirts, mugs, hoodies, etc. Featuring that iconic image, by the way. Link in the description if you haven't picked up yours. As for the Cybertruck, certainly what went down seemed a bit disastrous, but again, this actually got a lot of press coverage, and overall, it's turned into a blessing in disguise. I mean, Elon literally wears around shirt designs with the broken glass windows now. It certainly wasn't seamless, but as they say, no publicity is bad publicity. So I disagree a little bit with the author here. I see where he's coming from, but I don't think he's giving Elon Musk the credit he deserves. He's actually a master of publicity, just in a slightly more unconventional way. And if you have any doubt about this, go check out Elon's current Twitter following. When being interviewed, he's opaque, overly techie, and difficult to connect with. Richard Branson is a million times better with publicity, but there's something about Musk that makes Branson seem 1,000 years old. But he seems like he's trying to manipulate the media. He's terrible at that, too. After the deplatforming of Donald Trump, Musk is undebatably the planet's alpha tweeter. What a line, the planet's alpha tweeter. You know what? I think this is a fair point. One of those Kardashian people can make a line of armpit hair remover go viral, but Musk can generate or destroy billions of dollars of wealth with 3 or 4 words. Why on earth would he bother wasting 3 brain cells trying to manipulate the media? By the way, jumping in here, Brilliant. Totally agree, by the way. Manipulation is not one of Elon Musk's strengths. In fact, it's a trait he doesn't even demonstrate. And I totally agree. Why even bother wasting the time, the energy, the 3 brain cells required to try to manipulate the fake news, the mainstream media, these morons who don't have anything useful to say and are just out to get clicks and generate advertising revenue anyway. As well, his often lame tweets frequently backfire, as he's the first to attest tweeting on Ambien isn't wise. Musk doesn't need to manipulate the media because what he does is fantastically interesting. Another brilliant point, Douglas. He isn't someone who needs to fish for press, but he's just out to make money. A, so what if he is? But B, he isn't. He's just doing what he does. He's also, at the time of writing, the 2nd richest person on Earth. He probably got used to going to the candy store and buying 10 of everything a long time ago. He lives modestly. He always reinvests in his own ideas, and his ideas are good. Of course, for those of you that don't know, Elon Musk is living in a tiny little studio apartment at the moment near Boca Chica. I think it's worth $50,000. And he spends many evenings sleeping on factory floors or not sleeping at all, too busy focused on his mission to be living the typical, quote, billionaire lifestyle. But don't tell that to the basement dwellers who hate on Elon for being a billionaire. Oh, and just a special mention to one of the world's dumbest and worst human beings at present, Robert Reich. Dear Robert, please go fuck yourself. Thanks. He always reinvests in his own ideas, and his ideas are good. But self-driving cars will kill people. Grow up. Musk didn't just generate a few fundamental patents and move to Santa Barbara to golf for the rest of his life. Every day he tries to reinvent the wheel, and it's working. Shopped online lately? Ever wanted to visit the International Space Station? Want a new car? With cars alone, Musk pretty much single-handedly shamed and forced the global auto industry to accelerate the electric car rollout by 7 to 10 years. Another brilliant point, one worth actually taking the time to contemplate here. So many people hating on Elon Musk, all from their mum's basement admittedly. I mean, think about this for a moment. The guy single-handedly forced the entire auto industry to accelerate their transition to EVs. Trying to do something incredibly important that will have a positive impact on every single living organism on planet Earth. Something worth contemplating. Yet people vetch, and it makes me wonder if there's something fundamentally flawed about our era that it is almost impossible to get people to say something nice about pretty much anyone else. A like given to someone else is a like that could have instead gone to oneself, which I suppose indicates that there's something fundamentally different about selfhood than, say, 25 years ago. I picked 1996 because it seems to me to have been the acme of the celebrity profile. Remember them? In Vanity Fair, say, the glossy cover, the fawning, the expectation of dirt revealed. Will they backstab? Even the interviewers were famous for interviewing, and it feels like a million years ago. Are there any celebrity interviewers left? Oprah, I guess, but her heart doesn't seem to really be in it, and now she seems to be merely an enabling conduit for the Meghan and Harry feelings politics that blights our era. Fuck. Douglas, you legend. I'm becoming quite a fan of Douglas. But I hear he treats his employees badly. First, we already discussed this. He could be a dick, so don't be surprised when he is. Second, people know they're going to be working with Elon Musk, so they can't play woe is me if he goes Elon on them. And third, he's incredibly smart and is used to working with the world's smartest and most accomplished people. So if you don't cut the mustard, then you didn't cut the mustard. And here's something funny he actually said to someone who was pissing him off in the Tesla factory. You know, I could be drinking Mai Tais with naked supermodels, but instead, I'm here with you. He has a point. But he hurt my feelings and made me feel like I was in an unsafe and triggering work environment. Dear God, is this what our society has been reduced to? Oh, Douglas, you are an absolute legend, my friend. I'd just like to take this moment to unequivocally state in no uncertain terms that the woke mob are some of the worst human beings on planet Earth, and snowflakes are there to be melted. Here are a few readily available facts about Musk. He's a good father with 6 sons, triplets, twins, and 1 solo. He has been married to 2 women, his second wife twice. He is famous for his need to be in love and for being unable to sleep alone. He spent his 47th birthday in his factory, fixing robots for 24 hours. He loves his mother, who is a top global fashion model at 73. He sees no future in fossil fuels. He hates visible seams on products. He swears a lot. In 2018, his tunnel drilling company, The Boring Company, sold 20,000 novelty flamethrowers, just correction there, Douglas, not of flamethrowers, as a publicity stunt. They now sell on eBay at an average of $3,000. But he's not political. No, he's not. The left doesn't like him because he doesn't fund them or show interest in their causes. And the right doesn't like him because he messes around with the stock market and doesn't take classical capitalism seriously. For example, he thinks short selling the stock market should be banned. Musk donates to Democrats and Republicans only because it's the cost of having a voice in government. He seems to see left versus right as an obsolete binary and instead focuses his altruistic energies on ecology and invention. He seems to be more about the systems that create signals rather than the signals themselves. But he's trying to save the world, and trying to save the world is kind of corny. I know, saving the world. Could anything be more Meghan and Harry? Oh, Douglas, you savage. But Musk isn't trying to save the world, only to make it better. Musk has created 3 multi-billion-dollar companies in 4 profoundly difficult fields in which to create anything. And these companies are successful, usually without the help from the people we once considered gatekeepers. Like lots of people who do lots of things, he's too busy for elaborate introspection. But what's the deal with him wanting people to go to Mars? This is actually the most baffling thing about Musk. What's his deal with Mars? He loves discussing the creation of new platforms for humans elsewhere in the cosmos. He wants humans to be multiplanetary, telling Rolling Stone, quote, "There have been 5 mass extinction events in the fossil record. People have no comprehension of these things. Unless you're a cockroach or a mushroom or a sponge, you're fucked," end quote. And an incredibly important point. So I guess he's expecting a mass extinction event soon. But really though, aren't we all? Nervous chuckle. Well, maybe not, but his Martian plans will probably happen soon enough, and if nothing else, have spurred great general discussion on just what sort of person it takes to go to Mars on what is most likely a one-way trip. I know nothing about therapy, but it strikes me that perhaps Musk sees himself as a prime candidate. This may be reading too much into it. Maybe he simply thinks it's a cool idea. Sometimes it's that simple. Now, Douglas here, let me explain something to you. I know it might be a little bit confusing for some people to understand, but it was well summed up by Elon Musk describing the 5 extinction events in the fossil record. These things happen. There are a number of events that could wipe out all life on Earth. Now, we don't know when these events will happen. We don't know when the next extinction level impact event is going to occur. We don't know when the next supervolcano erupts. But we do have evidence that in the past, these events do occur and do wipe out enormous amounts of life on the planet. So therefore, it's probably a good idea, now that we have the ability to do so, to back up humanity onto another planet so that we're less likely to be completely wiped out if one of these extinction level events occur in the future. It's really that simple. Now, I don't understand how people don't get this. I really don't get it. This would be like me not having a backup in the cloud of all the home movies I've made with your mum and your sister. It's just silly, okay? What if my hard drive goes down? I want to have that stuff backed up. Obviously, duh. But he gave his kid a weird name. This is true, but Zoe Bowie turned out just fine, so why shouldn't X blah blah Musk? But what's with him saying AI is going to take over humanity and destroy everything? Okay, but what if he's right? The radio gave us Hitler. The internet gave us the past 5 years. Maybe AI will happily surprise us, but Musk only foresees a 5 to 10% chance of humans being able to contain AI and make it safe. It will possibly do this using the systems devised by his non-profit, Neuralink, which aims to create mind-machine interfaces. So combating potential AI enslavement down the road may seem quixotic, but frankly, why not give it a go? And just jumping in here again, honestly, I lose a lot of sleep about this scenario. For those of you that haven't looked into the potential outcomes, the way that AI can go wrong, I recommend you do that, but you're probably not going to sleep as well for the rest of your life, so just a caveat there, be cautious. If you haven't already, there's a link in the description to my top 100 books, a bunch of them on AI, including some of the risks there. Like I said though, if you read into this, you look into this, and you actually understand the arguments and all the way that things can go awry, you definitely won't be sleeping as soundly as you previously did, so caveat emptor. But it's like he's giving up on Earth and is hence not being any help down here. He's done more than his share down here, if nothing else, making great leaps at reducing fossil fuel consumption, but I have no idea if he recycles rubbish at his house wherever he lives. What if he didn't? That's right, that would make him a terrible human being. We could go jump on him and beat him with sticks. This is like those fuck faces like, Elon Musk has a private jet, oh my god, it burns fossil fuels, oh my god, what a hypocrite. Failing to see the bigger picture, it's kind of necessary to help build Tesla and his other companies, you fucking idiots. So, good point again, Douglas. But everything he does is all a big scam for him to get rich on cryptocurrency. If you search for Musk online comment threads on, say, Reddit, you'll quickly sense the presence of teenage male body sprays and stained gym socks. Yeah, he's talking about the basement dwelling adult virgins, so let's continue. It's incel heaven. Oh, Douglas, you absolute legend. I'm on the same page here. I mean, he's summing it up. You guys who are regular viewers of the channel will know my thoughts. The same kind of people spitting venom at Elon Musk all hate their own lives. All adult virgins living in their mum's basement. I could go on and on, but you've heard this spiel a million times. Douglas, nail on the head. It's incel heaven. Adult voices discussing Musk are rare, and it seems the vast bulk of Musk commentary centers on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and yes, I can hear you stifling a yawn, but we're stuck with these things, so we better cobble together some sort of peace deal with them. Cryptocurrency does seem to be the one topic where Musk genuinely enjoys messing with people's minds, as well as with stock market regulators. I suspect that he doesn't have a stand on crypto at all. Douglas, he has actually talked in detail about his thoughts on cryptocurrency. A little bit more homework would have been great, but hey, overall, pretty good article, but I just wanted to clear that up. My guess is that he sees cryptocurrencies as being interesting simply because they exist at all, like Klein bottles or those Japanese Kit Kats in flavours such as pumpkin or green tea. Regardless, Musk's public, toxic trolls included, seem to adore his ongoing dance of taunts and teasers and hints that they'd have it no other way, especially with a crypto called Dogecoin, which is like Daffy Duck to Bitcoin's Bugs Bunny. And the two are locked in an eternal battle for relevance. And even onlooking Belarusian troll farmers must be thinking, wow, we were going to fabricate a pseudo-conflict between these two things, but it looks like the real world is already doing it for us. Moi sleze nestordehat antibiotikov. I'm sure I butchered that, sorry. Translation, my teardrops contain no antibiotics. Okay, Douglas. It's also interesting to note that when Musk posts big events in his life on Twitter, successful experimental space launchers say his detractors will post things like a photo of a Tesla Model 3 whose rear wheels went off a suburban garden ledge, a photo appended by vitriolic meta-commentary along the lines of, my mum's Roomba has better edge detection than a Tesla, hashtag very disappointed. And just jumping in here, of course, these kind of folks would know a lot about their mum's Roomba because they're still currently living in her basement at age 37. P.S. Musk is already worth $185 billion. But at least it must be fun for Musk to have a worthy nemesis in Jeff Bezos. By the way, for those of you that don't know Jeff Bezos, he's most famous and well known for his space company called Sioux Origin. He also made a small online store. Cringe. Hearing this makes it feel like it's the 1920s and we're comparing the Vanderbilts with the Rockefellers. But having said this, I will admit that there is a deeply concealed dark part of my soul that aches for Bezos and Musk to even somewhat resemble that blank-eyed, walrus-mustached plutocrat who haunts the Monopoly game board. But alas, that is not going to happen. Both men seem to dress exclusively from Tommy Hilfiger shops at outlet malls. Maybe Lauren Sanchez buys Bezos' shirts in those hotel lobby stores at coastal resort towns. But honestly, even if you're the two richest unmarried guys on earth, whose job is it to pull your wardrobe anyway? Your girlfriend's? No. So who? A personal assistant? Your mum? By the way, speaking of your mum, tell her I said hello. It's actually kind of a miracle that new clothing ever even appears in these guys' dressing rooms to begin with. But this doesn't directly address the Bezos-Musk rivalry, which I don't think actually exists. Douglas, you're actually wrong on this one. There is a pretty intense rivalry here. This is all stemming from Jeff here. See, Jeff wants to be Elon, and Elon wants to be Elon. So this is where things are stemming from. It technically seems like it could be a good rivalry, but they both made their money in such different ways. And remember, money is a primary lens through which we view them, that it feels wrong to lump them together. Bezos is like your mum's leathery third boyfriend after her divorce, while Musk is your maths tutor who won the Powerball lottery. Zero overlap. Okay, Douglas, if you say so. But for real, didn't he just win some sort of genetic lottery instead? Right place, right time? People want to believe that. But here's the thing, Musk has a huge IQ. Just jumping in here, this is a very evident point. By the way, if I was to guess, I'd say Elon Musk's IQ is somewhere in the range of 165 to 170, maybe even as high as 180. And for the record, that is actually winning a genetic lottery, let's be honest. He is measurably, scientifically, clinically, and demonstrably the smartest person in any room, anywhere. He can tell you the square root of your Amex card number at a glance. He can tell you, I don't know, the square root of zinc. He has mild Asperger's, which prevents him from snagging on details and talking himself out of trying new things. Not quite understanding the reasoning there, Douglas. We'll give you a pass. Overall, the article's pretty good, but this seems a little nonsensical to me. It certainly prevents him from giving a flying f*** what other people think about him, and I think it helps enormously with his focus as well. He's a perfect storm who comes from about as middle class a family as was possible in the late 20th century, so you can't beat him with sticks. His family was like scores of millions, and then he became one of the richest people on earth. But then what does this all mean? I think the biggest difference between the 20th century and the 21st is that in the 20th century, you were able to see the future in your head. There were new ways of envisioning, say, an information utopia or an ecological harmonization of humans with everything non-human. But here in the 21st century, we're only able to possibly glimpse a small workable future, and even then, only if we work at it incredibly hard. That's a huge difference in looking at what lies down the road. Musk's appeal is that he sees both the future as well as a future, albeit a future on Mars, which has 38% of the gravity of Earth and about 1% of its atmosphere. By the way, just interjecting here, this will be a good time for those of you who haven't seen the very first video I posted on this channel, my hypothesis as to one of the means Elon Musk uses to actually glimpse this very difficult to see future. Check it out, there's a card in the corner. And Wi-Fi back and forth to Earth would take 6.5 minutes each way. Hardly smoking hot. So good luck watching random episodes of The Big Bang Theory while real-time wisecracking with your former cubicle mates back in Palo Alto. But when is this going to end? Why can't he just move to Santa Barbara and play golf for the rest of his life? On June 28th, Musk turned 50. He has at least 3 more high-functioning decades to go. More likely 5 or 6. Just want to jump in here. Douglas is actually onto something here, suggesting that Elon Musk is 50. He's got another 50, 60 plus years in him potentially of high-quality productive work. He's actually right here. For those of you who aren't up to date with the latest happenings in longevity, well, that's on you. If you think this sounds crazy, do some more homework and then get back to me. So we're not even halfway through his movie. Pundits who think he'll soon be over are either naive or assassins. And that is the article in its entirety. And I've got to say, credit where it's due, Douglas Coupland, very fair, logical, and reasonable article. Sure, a few things that were a little bit off the mark there, but overall, fantastic, very nice, and very rare to see somebody in the mainstream media, rather than taking a gigantic dump on Elon Musk and trying to spit venom, saying things that are reasonable, fair, and, believe it or not, kind. Let me know what you guys thought of the article in the comments below. Do you think it was reasonable and fair overall? And are you happy to see some positive and reasonable things said about Elon Musk for a change? And just finally, another great opportunity to plug the Don't Bet Against Elon merch available in the merch store, linked in the description. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card, where you can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase. There's a link in the description. You can also earn up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, also linked below. And finally, don't forget your free stocks with WeBull and Stake, also linked in the description. These great offers also help out the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.